I'm going to call out the names of the loans, and you're going to tell me a little brief description about them
Okay.
and the down payment required. So let's start with my favorite. I guess I shouldn't say my favorite because there's a lot of different ones, but VA. Let's start with VA loan. What is it?
We love our veterans. So VA loan is for someone who has an eligibility to get a VA loan. So if you have served your country and you're entitled to a VA loan, you would know that. And you actually don't have to put any money down. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful loan.
So zero down payment.
Zero down payment. And you can even negotiate the seller to cover your closing cost. So you could actually leave the closing with money. You could buy a house and get money.
That's great.
It's wonderful. It really is.
That's a possibility.
It is. It is.
Not everyone.
Right, exactly. And at River Hills, we do appreciate our veterans. We actually waive our lender closing costs for our veterans because that's our way to thank them for their service.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty awesome.
So next, conventional.
Conventional is a great loan. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can put 3% down going conventional. If you're not a first-time home buyer, you need to put down at least 5%. But everybody puts down different ranges, anywhere up to 20%. You can put as much money as you want down. There's no limit.
Right.
So,
can you kind of give a description of what conventional is?
well, a conventional mortgage is probably one of the easiest mortgages to obtain. Anybody can get a conventional mortgage as long as they meet the credit requirements. So we do have to analyze their credit. We have to analyze your income and make sure that you have sufficient down payment. And then if you can get approved going conventional, it definitely will make the process a little bit easier on you.
All right, next one. You ready? FHA.
FHA. So FHA is a loan for people that don't meet the criteria of conventional. So it's kind of like that second chance loan. So it helps you get into a house even though you may not qualify for a conventional loan. So FHA is great for borrowers that have marginal credit or maybe some young people that haven't built their credit up yet, so their credit scores aren't that great just because they lack credit. This is a great loan for first-time home buyers, but people can buy a home going FHA if it's their second or third home. So the requirement for the down payment on an FHA loan is 3.5%. So it's a little more than the 3% down going conventional, but that 3.5%, it can be a grant program, it can be gift money from family members. It can be your own money saved up. So, but the big thing about FHA is that the property does have to meet certain criteria. So when an appraisal is done on an FHA loan versus a conventional loan, the FHA appraiser will go into that home and make sure that everything's working, that there are no issues with all the systems of the home. And that's where you come into play. So when you go out and show a property and you know your customer has to go FHA, you're that set of eyes where you're like making sure that there's no leaky pipes,
right?
That everything works.
For sure. If you see a basement with water damage or flooding, most likely it will not pass FHA appraisal. And an appraisal is, this is how I say it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, basically the bank wants to know that the house is in good standing and worth taking out the loan on.
Right, because you're not putting a whole lot down, and usually FHA buyers, they have enough to come to closing, but they don't have a whole lot left after the fact. So they don't want to set you up for failure. They don't want you to get into a house that needs a lot of work because they know that you don't have a lot of money to invest into the house right away.
A little bit more stricter for their appraisal process compared to a conventional loan.
Right, exactly. So, but FHA is a great product. It really is. And when you get an FHA loan, you don't always have to have it for the rest of the time you're in the house. You know, you can always refinance out of an FHA loan into a conventional loan at some point to improve your situation.
Ready for the next one?
Yes.
Because I'm trying not to talk over you. Okay, USDA loan.
USDA. I love USDA loans. They're wonderful loans. So what a USDA loan is a loan for specific rural developed areas. In the greater Cincinnati area, a lot of the properties outside the 275 loop actually qualify for USDA. There is a map that I usually share with my buyers and my agents when I'm working with them if we know that that's the direction the customer's headed in. So that way you can plug an address in, and on the map it will tell you if it's a USDA territory or not. So in order to get an USDA loan, there's two factors, okay? There is the income and the location of the property. The type of property also. So you find a property and it's in a territory that it qualifies for USDA, then that's the first thing. The other thing is your income. There are income limits. The limits are different by county, different by family size. So if you're a family of 2, the limit may be different on your income than if you're a family of 4 or 5. So I ask lots of questions, get all the feedback from my buyers, so I can let you know if your income falls under the USDA limits. And if it does, you can get 100% financing.
And that's what I was going to ask, what's the down payment? So it sounds like
it's another 0 down loan, but you have to meet the requirements on the income limits, and you have to buy in the right area. Not everyone wants to buy out as far as that, and so then that's not the type of loan that you want to get.
I would say I'm more of a city girl.
Yeah.
Now would you say you're more of a rural?
Well, I live outside the 275
do,
loop in Cincinnati, so I'm in a neighborhood, but I could drive 5 minutes and see cows and cornfields. So.
And you like that. That's why you picked your area.
I do. I love the diversity of our area out in Claremont County. So, but it's a great loan. It really is. It serves another purpose. So all these loans that we're talking about here, they serve different purposes for different situations.
And that's why we talked about, well, we don't know what your interest rate would be right off the bat.
Right, right. Because we have to determine, that's why it's so important to fill out that application. You know, that's your first step in finding out exactly what you can do. So once we've talked about all that information based on your application, then I can say, okay, Susie, you qualify for this type of loan. You know, this is my recommendation. You may reach out to me and say, well, I really don't have a lot saved up. So then that helps me narrow down our options. So then once I look at your income and see what your credit score is, based on your options, I can tell you what you can do. In Ohio, there's some really good down payment assistance programs. And in Kentucky, there's a lot of good down payment assistance programs also.
Stay tuned for another video about that too.
We can go into down payment assistance and how you can buy a house and really not have a lot of money in the bank if you qualify. We really care about people here at River Hills Bank. You know, everybody's an individual, and we're a community bank. So we, most of our branches are in the Claremont County area, but we lend all over the greater Cincinnati area. Actually, I can lend in every state in the United States. So I've had customers buy homes here in Cincinnati, and they've loved our service so much that when they go to buy a second home in another state or buy an investment property, they come back to me and I can help them do that also.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so.
Well, I hope you stay tuned for more of our series.
Yes, we'll go in deeper and give you more information.
Especially about those home buyer programs, more about those loans that we were talking about, because we just did a real quick breakdown. There's so much to learn. That's why we want to educate you. I'm Sarah Rose with WebMLS.net Realty. I'm your realtor.
And I'm Shannon from River Hills Bank, your loan officer.
Right, so we can help you find your home, first-time home buyer or bought many homes before. We're here to help you. Please call us. Boop, boop. There's our numbers. And we appreciate you watching this video and taking your time, because everyone's time is very important. Thank
Yeah.
you for your time today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You also.